By the blessing of the icons and their emissaries, we found the child.
But brought something else to light.
There's a darkness coming.
In the shadows are old enemies.
And new allies.
What will survive in the dawn?
Of the last Cyclade.
Buenas tardes, folks. Welcome to Gobbler Games. I think my name is Millie. Pretty sure.
I think my name's Ben.
Oh,
It's okay. Hi, I'm Pete.
oh, yeah. Darn it.
That leaves me as Hamgra.
Humgra. I was actually thinking that earlier on, if we pronounced Gobbler Games with like a Spanish thing.
Habla.
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 Hams. Habla.
Habla Hamesh.
Habla Kamesh. Yeah, welcome. We are a serious RPG channel with serious actual play games.
Oh, yes.
We don't know what serious means, but we're aiming for.
Yeah, it's on a dartboard somewhere. Welcome.
It's
folks.
out there somewhere. We will find it one day.
One day, but definitely not this close to the end of the year.
If you put a montage together in the last 12 months, you'll probably find at least 30 seconds.
Oh, somebody let Nye know.
I know what.
With those clips.
There is
Right, okay.
a wonderful
I mean,
wonderful
I can't
person.
imagine that being worth it, but okay.
No, it's brilliant. It's really great. Like,
No, I meant
Yeah.
looking at seriousness.
Yeah, because there isn't any.
Like, yeah.
it's a wonderful,
What
a
would you have?
wonderful
30
review.
seconds of just like still life. So
Oh, no, gosh. While I try to not destroy my overlay in Zoom, Graham, how's your day been? How's your week been?
be busy.
Excellent. That's a good week. How's Silsilla's? Oh yeah, I did destroy the overlay. Oh no. How's Silsilla's week been?
Get rid of that top left bit where it said.
Yeah, just delete that bit. How's Silsilla's week been?
Um,
Moment frozen in time. It was because he hasn't done anything all week because he's been stuck in
I
time.
mean, what did we last do? I mean, we ate a lot of food.
Yeah.
Yep.
We found like the guy who tried to kill us tried to make us his friend.
Both fast, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Twitchy is how I imagine something.
Okay, just twitchy a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, you know, is it like a friendly death or just death? Or we aiming for a near miss? Should we return the favour?
Interesting. Yeah, okay. You're going to go straight up for murdering Bofas.
Oh, he survives.
I thought we were trying to recruit everybody, weren't we?
That's what I
maybe the ones
thought.
that don't start off
That
by
was
trying to
last
kill
week.
us. Yeah, we moved on. We've grown as people now. We've done that.
Okay. Pete, how's your week been?
It's been an interesting week. My
Excellent.
son has been ill,
Oh no.
so it's been a bit of late night hand-to-hand combat.
Excellent.
So a few panic rolls failed.
Okay.
And yes, me screaming in a corner in the
Oh.
dark. So yeah,
Like real life leveling up then.
yeah. Work's been okay, and my son is now asleep and feeling a lot better today. So I'm in a very good place
Excellent.
for shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Do.
I think because Benny sat back, he looks like he's wearing a cowl, like shadow on the head.
Shadow in the
Ah.
like a Sith in the red light.
Mm.
There we go.
And Yusuf is getting more serious. Talking about being serious, Yusuf is starting to realize that like he can't just bum about in space all the time. Some of the time, but not all of the time. And that there's some weird stuff going on. And maybe if he paid attention and concentrated, he might figure some shit out. And
So
all
to
these mystic
clarify,
powers keep
developing
going.
psychic powers didn't make you think there might be some weird shit going on.
That's
But
weird shit
having
going
dinner
on with me.
On
No,
a
I mean like
stinky
there's
planet did.
there's lots of weird stuff going out in the world that maybe I can help with.
Okay.
He thought it was the drugs beforehand.
Just life on the road, right? All it's been.
I wasn't paying much attention.
And we mentioned shenanigans. How is Shanaz? And indeed, how are you, Ben?
Shanaz is great. I've got COVID.
Oh
Oh,
no!
no.
Yeah, managed to avoid it for 3 years.
Oh,
And it's come slinking in the back door.
So
Oh.
it's vintage COVID now then.
Does that mean
If only.
you're trapped under the stairs? Less you pass it
Well,
on
I'm
to
trapped
anyone?
under the stairs anyway. This is where I live now.
Okay. Fair. Flat foods under the door and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Okay. Well, get well soon. Let's hope.
How are you then? Like tired, ill, or have COVID?
I might just be at the end of it. I've had a pretty rough week last week and don't seem to be doing too badly at the minute. But I would hope not, given that I've had 4 vaccinations and get the flu jab every year. And right now, conspiracy theorists are using this as evidence that the vaccine doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Screenshotting that, putting it straight up on like feeds of biologists going, see, frauds.
No. Oh,
No.
no. It works. It works.
Yeah,
Get
it
vaccinated.
works.
Get vaccinated, folks. Do it. All right. So, how is Shanaz? Did we find how is she feeling?
Shanaz is fine. Everything's fine. Everything's good. It's all fine. It's
Strangely
great here.
pious.
Right here, possibly lingering on the tightrope of.
The tightrope of extinction
Yeah. Okay.
over the abyss of Alarm's temple.
Aram's secret.
Yeah.
In his ravine. Okay. Cool. So.
Aram's secret.
Yeah, Aram's secret is in his ravine.
I am a child.
I know.
I thought slinking in the back door earlier on was going to get a laugh, but people missed it.
All right. So let the shenanigans begin. All right. Where were we? We had down on the planet Gina just finished talking at the Salt Widow's house, if I remember rightly.
Indeed, yep.
And we were going to.
Fast was going to take us to the scientist.
Yeah.
Are we going straight to the scientist, or were we going to find somewhere to sleep?
We were going to keep the night, I
Yeah.
think, because it was very late.
Yeah,
Yeah, you were
it's quite
driving
And-
back to the ship.
And weren't we
borrowed,
horribly drunk or something?
slightly
Yeah.
inebriated.
I'm not.
You borrowed
Yes.
new kids'
Grab.
space pickup
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we're going to sleep on the ship.
Oh, we were going
Yeah.
to go to the hotel, weren't we?
I'm not sure.
I mean,
That's why I asked.
What do you want to do? Let's decide now.
well, do we know the way to our ship?
Yeah.
Screw it. Let's try the moon buggy thing then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be a cool shot of us in the night, through the green haze and everything.
What we've got to do is like jump over some slight big hill and then just randomly shoot at the sky.
Cool. I'm drunk. I'm well up for that.
I mean, you do have
It's not
carbine.
combustible, this gas.
Well, we're going to find out. It's acid. It'll melt the bullets. Nothing bad will happen to anybody. Eventually.
All right. So as you're making your way to where Nina Jack has parked this little ground vehicle, very bumpy ground vehicle, 3 blokes kind of approach you as you are, getting there. And one of them steps forward and he says, you the folks who came off planet today? You landed earlier at the
Was it a landing? Silsilla?
Yeah, I mean, more of a crash. Like, I think in his head, like, really, like, Cecil may have had a couple of drinks, so, like, really loud, hoping that Yusef he's reading his mind, thinking, did this guy really just mime landing to me while wearing a flight suit?
I'm going to give Cecilla a look like
yeah.
I just read his mind, but I haven't.
Because we've got 16
So,
seconds.
yeah, I'll just, like, maybe just act slightly drunker than I am. So, yes, sort of. Well, not really. More of a crash.
Is he wielding any kind of weapon when he says this? He's not looking to like. Do they look like they're about to set to?
I mean, are you still carrying that carbine? Carry it
Well,
around?
I've got a gun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a gun and a baton, a pistol and a baton.
This
a
this
sword.
chap who is stood at the front talking to you, he doesn't have any weapons. There are 2 guys, and the way I imagine it, like when no, that's a bad analogy. So it's just like
Say it.
No, it's all good. When there's like a gangster in Lock, Stock, and that kind of stuff, and the
Yeah.
talky one comes forward, but there's these 2 dudes at the back, just like this, sort of scowling. It's exactly the sort of thing that's happening here. This guy's like,
Cheery wave time.
yeah, that kind
Can't
of.
say that because I can't see it. So
This guy at the front, he says, well, look, you've been to talk with the old miserable woman, but how about you accept some real hospitality in his kindness.
The Mine Lord.
Yeah. In his extension of kindness and true Aram's Ravine hospitality, the Mine Lord, Lorak the White, offers you an audience and a place to stay.
Oh, how Like,
Well, not necessarily. He might have once been Lorak the Grey.
Mm-hmm.
May I just confer with my captain for a moment, please?
And he just shrugs as if, that I don't care.
And I'm just going to say it in front of him. Might be fun.
But we're already drunk. We should go tomorrow when we're not drunk. Get drunk again.
Are we here tomorrow?
I don't know.
Have they fixed the ship yet? I don't know. This.
There, so probably not.
No, you haven't drove out to the place. This is still in the town before you drove out.
It's before, she's at the Nina Jack's at the house. We left her at the house, didn't we?
Because she's staying in some.
I don't know. It feels like we could. It's not fully green yet, is it? We could, spend a bit more time with the Mine Lord. Has he got what booze has he got?
He's got good booze.
I'm whispering to the other guy. I'm going, what booze has he got?
He has a bunch of stuff off planet. Some local stuff as well. I mean, I think.
Oh, it's the local. The lighter fuel.
Probably some sort of I don't know.
Yeah. You know what? Let's go. You know the way though, right? That's to the dude.
Oh, to the dude? Like I think you're talking to Yusuf. Like you know
me. I don't know where I'm going.
I know where I'm going. I'm following this guy.
Is there like a small hip that can jump off? Show us that first.
Yeah, give us 10 minutes.
This guy,
he'd be like completely. Why are we bothering with these tits? And we'll just be like.
This guy who has offered you the invitation, he says, "Yeah, I know the way to the Mine Lord's palace."
Palace.
Close to him, going, not you, is it? You, the Mine Lord.
He goes, "No, my name is."
Remember the guy who wears his armor all the time?
Ibra. My name's Ibra.
He must be really ugly or something.
Ibra, very pleased to meet you.
And then who else is there?
What are these dudes called?
Thorak and Jabal.
Thorak. Oh.
Yeah. Both Thorak and Jabal, like now you've accepted, suddenly feel less need to hold one hand inside the jacket with their arms folded, and relax a bit, that kind of thing.
They're about to challenge you to an armpit fart noise contest.
Yeah.
Well, they would be in serious trouble.
I mean, that's terrifying.
There wasn't a lot to do on Algol, I'll tell you that. But we had very sweaty armpits.
From all the work you
Well,
did.
it's amazing when the backstory comes out, Pete. Just look at it.
Oh, absolutely. My finely crafted backstory.
Let's go then.
All right, so we're going to go to the Mine Lord's Palace, which isn't as grand as you would hope. I think you're starting to learn that nothing in Algol is, nothing in Aram's Secret is Aram's Ravine even then.
Aram's Ravine.
Gosh. So
It's
many
like 2
words.
containers instead of 1 container.
Is as fancy as it is. Let me see if I can find where it is.
Yeah, so when he says palace, it's like a portaloo or something.
It has
Okay.
Portaloo inside rather than outside in the acid rain. That's the palace part.
Yeah.
Ambassador, with this indoor bathroom, you are spoiling us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I seem to have lost Graham in this image. Hang on.
No, I look like I'm still here.
No, when I do this, your face is going to disappear, sweetheart. Sorry.
Oh,
Oh no, what have I done?
Ah,
So where the X is on that map is where the Mind Lord's palace is.
that's Pete. You're on there twice.
Oh yeah, it's Pete's hand. Excellent. But that's where the Mind Lord's palace is. Look, and then if I take the thing away, you can see it's like this big sort of curved building. It's got a couple of tiers, lots of lights and stuff on it. Looks like very grand when you arrive there. For Gina, not necessarily like for anywhere else. You've definitely seen nicer places in Debaran and that kind of stuff. Again, it's covered in this strange kind of local, or it might not be local, but this lichen and algae kind of covered over a lot of the stuff. And it should have at some time been like nice bright white fronts on it. If it had, if everything had gone to plan, this place would have looked pretty sweet. Now it just looks like grimy,
moldy.
Yeah, moldy. It's not exactly the best looking place. But nonetheless, like Ibra sort of leads you into like what should be.
I just please, like Ibra, like how do you talk to a mind lord? Like, is he your mind lordiness or what?
We tend to call him Sir.
my lord,
My
which is
lord.
the abbreviation of mine lord.
Yeah, that is not my lord. It's yeah.
There's silent N in the middle.
Just respectful.
Hey, like, what does he want anyway?
Oh, well, that's for him to discuss with you. They take you to, like, it's essentially a waiting room. It's like a little square room. In the middle of the room is like a nice long fountain pond. There's cushions and stuff to sit around.
I pull bottles out of my flight suit pockets and just offer them to Silsilla. No, I am Silsilla.
You're that drunk.
Mine, you said. Then I put them back in because I was supposed to fly.
And yeah, you're brought to this room. It's quite nice. On the inside, it's got this nice fountain pond thing in the middle. Little, places to sit and stuff. There's music piped in from somewhere to kind of make it nicer.
I look impressed on it.
Yeah, and they like these thugs essentially leave. As they sort of leave, whether you noticed it earlier or you realize it now, they've got these like on the backs of their jacket or somewhere like a handprint, a red handprint on them. All three of them.
Red hand gang, isn't it?
Yeah.
The anti-sciences.
Mm-hmm.
Or asses.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, they all leave you in this room. And there's a while, like it's a while you're just sort of left there to just sit and wait.
I mean, I look like I'm checking a place out and look at pressed by the office.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Silsilla, wanders around a bit. They just sort of, you literally just left an hour and a half.
Food and drink in it?
Nothing.
Oh, well, in which case, we open the bottles in my pockets.
Yeah. I pull a really old banana from my pocket.
From in the shadow, you pour a banana from your pocket.
Sloughs out of my pocket.
I
mean, super classy, all of it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Adia, it's not Adia, Kerr should love it. All right, so we wait 2 hours, go by. Eventually, you are finally sort of led into another room, like a young guy comes to sort of open these doors that are in the room and lead you in. He leads you into a corridor, and he says, like, the throne room is this way, folks. Gestures down a corridor.
I'm kind of smirking and like, when they say things like the throne room and,
Yeah, I get you.
We're just slightly up in the chance of never leaving the place alive.
Nothing too obvious. I just find like,
Yeah, just like a wanker.
yeah.
I mean, if the shoe fits.
And then like chuckling to yourself like a 4-year-old who like believes no one can see him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they lead you down this like lavish corridor, and they open these double doors at the end of this way, into a grander room. As you're sort of led in, you can see all across the immediate floor are like cushions to sit on, thick carpet, low tables, and then there's some very small steps where this like red and gold carpet kind of runs up to a slightly raised plateau with a divan on it, and lounging on this plateau in full ceramic white armor is the Mine Lord, mask and everything on.
I like turn to Silsilla like, oh.
Right, let's get a paper bag and blow into it in 2 minutes first, then we'll turn back around.
Yeah, full armor.
Good God, I wish I was there just so I could insult him enough so he died.
I mean, we could call you.
Look at this.
Go on, tell him what you think.
Yeah. But yeah, he's lounging there on his divan, looking at a tabula like nonchalantly. The doors are kind of closed, and you realize the 3 thugs from earlier are in the room. Like, one of them sort of is sat on this, or 2 of them are sat on the side. But which 2 were it? Ibra, the guy who spoke to you, and Dorak are sat on the side, and they're sort of like playing the Shah game that you were playing earlier. And Jabal is on the other side. Jabal is actually the person who closed the door with this attendant for the Mine Lord. So they both closed the door. This attendant is like, please take a seat. I can get you any refreshments your heart might desire.
From the Coke machine.
Any refreshments your heart might desire.
But only the fun size version.
Yeah.
I will ask for apple crumble.
Okay.
Orange juice.
And you can see this young attendant like leans over to Jubal, and he's like, "What's apple crumble? What's orange juice?" sort of thing.
I'll notice that. Or I'll make a roll if you like.
Yeah, but so
just be it.
Yeah, and obviously Jubal says something to him like behind his hands, kind of like, just bring some sort of cake, and some sort of drink. I don't care, kind of thing. And this guy is like, okay, right, he's gonna leave and go and find something. And after a short while, unless you break the silence.
Do you want to ask Pete something out of character, out of character?
Yeah.
Like, are we mad we've been kept waiting, or we're just like not bothered in the slightest?
I figure we've probably been playing some stupid game in the waiting room.
All right,
so we're kind of all right.
We've just carried on our night regardless, basically.
Yeah.
The 2 of you doing something stupid while waiting for something? No.
I feel there's a hidden meaning there.
It's episode 10, Why Break a Tradition?
Yeah.
All right, then, then we're just completely chill.
Can I do an over-the-top bow?
You do an over-the-top bow to the Mine Lord, yeah? And like with a flourish and a that kind
my imitation of one.
like some sort of mocking element in there as well, I imagine,
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Yusuf.
I'll do whatever you would do in the colonial agency to recognize someone of a senior rank.
Okay, so there's
Bit of
this
rimmer.
little bit of rimmer flourishing, all this kind of stuff going on. And the Mine Lord like acknowledges, like he goes, we'd been wondering where you were going to pay a visit. We had asked our associates to extend an invite to yourselves. It's so gracious that you have joined us. You are the folks who arrived in the city of. You are the folks who arrived in the city today.
Yes.
Guessing you don't get a lot of visitors.
Aram's Ravine is an acquired taste. It's only for those of us who are hardy enough to withstand it.
Agreed.
We're just chest bump.
Yeah. Yeah. Punch Silsilla in the shoulder.
He like, obviously he's wearing this full ceramic mask, so you can't see his face.
Just feel.
Is it functional or decorative?
Would you like to make an observation roll?
God, I need some dice, don't I?
Well, it is. I would like it to be a no theatre.
Observation roll. Blimey. I can do that actually.
Always encouraging to hear.
No, I failed.
All right, you're not sure.
Yeah.
Either like it's pristinely white.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Clearly not been in a mine in a while.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. You know, you've seen people maybe with old ceramic armor and that kind of stuff, and when it's been shot, it does get like its char marks and stuff on it. So
Sure.
either it's never been tested in battle, or he's paid someone to keep it
Clean it.
up to
Right,
date.
yeah.
You can't.
But it is a form of art. It's not like something he fashioned himself. It's like something we've seen before.
Yeah.
It just looks really nice and clean and white.
Yes, either that
Okay.
or it's cosplay. You can't tell from. You know,
Yeah.
you can't
It's all
tell.
foam.
Yeah, it's all EVA and Warbler and primer over the top. But yeah, it does look like armor you've seen
Okay.
on other folks. Admittedly, like you folks probably haven't seen like a full set of this armor. Like someone might have had like the chest plate or
Like an
the,
arm or something.
like or the leg platings. Somebody else might have had like a half helmet or that kind of stuff. To have a whole
And-
set.
Does it completely cover the face, or is there like a? Is it like a slot, or is it like it's got
Yeah, it depends if
cameras on the outside to like stick it into a HUD or something? Or sorry, just trying to get a mental
No, I appreciate it.
image. Whether I can stare him in the eyes. Okay.
Yeah, so it's got like these sort of recesses of like a different kind of meshing over it, and either underneath that there are like sensors and cameras and that kind of stuff. So he's probably got some sort of hood for himself.
Okay.
Which, as you're thinking about it, is like, why was he pretending to read the tabula then? Like,
it's an ostentatious prick.
yeah, the longer you spend in this sort of room,
it's like, oh my god, this is the barmy army over here. What's going on?
The more you're like, this is why we go to big planets. Like, little places like this are weird in things. But yeah, it's definitely proper ceramic kind of armor. It's definitely. Yeah, it's probably really expensive. If it's the full real deal, it's definitely expensive. After so he makes pleasantries and kind of checks you are the people he is sent to get the people. Gives you the opportunity to, if you want, introduce yourselves. Like, do you say, like, I'm Silsilla, this is Yusuf, or
I introduced myself as Captain.
Captain Zamil.
Captain Zamil.
And I'm first mate Yusuf. And I'm going to have my mining tattoos a little bit more on display,
Okay.
and say I like yourselves. I'm from a mining background. I grew up on Algol,
He
where there's real mining.
he nods. You gather like a couple, like the three guys who were in the room. Only one of them seems to be like educated enough to know what's outside of the system, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And one of them goes, "Oh, big domes, yeah." And the others do that like what sort of educated kind of face.
Yeah.
The Mine Lord nods. Whether he understands Algol and real mining is for you to infer.
I'm not reading his mind yet.
Not yet. And he
6-year-old child in it.
he says, "We know you visited that old Salt Widow, and we are aware of her claims of misadventure over accidental death. We warn you, she's not all seems to be. And we caution you, she does not follow... she said, we caution you, she does not follow loyalty to the land and to its people, like the Mine Lord does."
I just nod, like I have no idea what this guy's talking about, but I'll be like, oh yeah, sure.
Third person, love it.
Yeah, all the way through. Never,
Yeah. The Mine Lord.
The Mine Lord does. We have reason to believe the Salt Widow has contracted you for. And he pauses.
I just
Like,
oh well, thank you very much there.
what?
He's doing. Oh, no, you can't see that. Doing this, which is funny. Don't get me wrong.
What? And they're like the Mine Lord, like. Huh?
Ignore him.
We have reason to believe the Salt Widow has hired you to guard a blasphemous scientist on the edge of the ravine. We aren't too fond of this poking around ancient burial, sacred grounds. The long since dead miners that have been interred there are
Read mind.
reed mines. The long since dead miners that are interned there deserve their rest in peace.
Have a darkness point, Millie.
I will.
One success.
Okay. So what do we get with one success? Like surface thoughts and
Yeah, just surface thoughts.
um
I want to, get how he's feeling about it, or what he's thinking. If there's anything he's not saying that's just there bubbling.
so he is low-key annoyed that he had to go out and invite you in. Like, to him, you should have known to turn up at his house and petition the Mine Lord kind of thing. Like, he's low-key annoyed at that. He also he is the stuff he's saying, he is saying because he knows a lord should care about these things. In his head, like, someone of power and responsibility should care about these things, but really he's just doing it because the little folk object. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like
Yep.
Like pandering.
Oh, the little superstitious people are scared
Yeah.
about this stuff, so I better do something
so
about it. Otherwise, they'll all revolt.
I, the benevolent lord, will take care of it for them, kind of thing. So we believe the miners buried in these sacred burial grounds should rest in peace. We hope you could perhaps appear to take this contract with. And he pauses, and the word that Yusuf will hear is bitch. But what he says is old woman. And we hope that should something. Oh, and we hope that
No accident should befall the scientist.
what happens when what inevitably must happen is to occur, you could perhaps be attending to your own business rather than his.
That's expensive.
Is that what Yusuf says?
Yeah.
That's expensive. He he says expenses can be covered for those that work for me. For those that work for us, even. He doesn't say me. Expenses can be covered for those that work for us. Parts can be arranged for broken ships. Perhaps a small haulage contract for some of the goods our miners here discover. Some of our exports are very valuable in certain parts of the system. And he looks like, he's been benevolent. Like,
I'm gonna
I'd just do the salute.
salute him again.
Well, really, what I would want to say would probably get us murdered, so I'll leave that choice to Yusuf.
let's do it.
Come back next week as Kirsch and Adia.
New characters. All right, so you're gonna fight her, who's Kirsch?
I'll have to roll a dice, obviously.
Oh, obviously. So he sort of we'll leave like Silsila and Yusuf, trying to work out whether it's like what's the best way to just say nah, it's all right, fam, or be like yeah, or
Like, what I really want to say is, you know, you're like king shit of fuck all hill, basically. Like, we come from up there where we've got fruit more expensive than your house.
fruit more expensive than your house. You've been
Holy shit, I
taking
get to
lessons
drop
of
one off and you'll
Shanaz
double your
there.
value. It's kind of what Silsila is thinking, because this guy's an absolute.
Yeah. At some point he stands up because he has to stand up, and he is actually wearing like a long white cloak as well. Like
Oh, what a prick.
like he probably stands up to explain about the burial ground and that kind of stuff, gesture magnet.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing.
Pics or it didn't happen. I'm not going to believe it.
Yeah, can I take a little picture of him as he
Let's
turns
do
to
selfies. Let's do selfies.
All right, so as Yusuf and Silsila think about whether to take the Mind Lord's counteroffer of
20 pence.
20 pence and a murder. Shanaz, it's got late in the evening. You've had I remember we had a lesson or so with.
I historied.
Yeah, you had a history lesson, an afternoon. So we went to do some training to make sure we're up to spec for potential biosculpting, and that kind of stuff.
We got diet. We got the operation still to come.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to get some DNA samples and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he's off world at the minute, but I'll take some hair samples and. No, I won't. Well, I'm not taking hair samples at all. I don't want to touch Silsila's stuff. That's gross. We've got a Basile for that.
Okay, so you ask Basile to do it, or do you invite the biosculptors too?
Well, I'll invite the biosculptors if they want to come and get it without it being corrupted by Basile's gene code.
I mean, it's entirely up to you. Like, they will come down and take it. Obviously,
they'll probably get it better than Basile, won't they?
Yeah, they'll probably want also to take it from Silsila as well.
Yeah. Well, that's when he gets back.
Okay, so you contact them. You offer to let them come to the residence and take some samples and that kind of stuff. Do you get Basile to like lay out some of Silsila's stuff, like maybe his washcloth and hairbrush and that kind of
Yeah,
stuff?
washcloth, hairbrush, toothbrush, that sort of stuff.
Or do you let them root around in Silsila's room?
I'm not going to let them root around in Silsila's room, though.
Cool. All right. So Basile goes in and is like, puts these on like a ridiculously ornate tray, like a gold tray with like a toothbrush, a soggy face cloth, and a hairbrush on it.
I'll look at how well he's angled the brush against the edge of the tray and just, maybe tilt an eyebrow ever so slightly and give him a little nod at the end. The highest praise he's going to get.
Oh, okay. He smiles. He understands. And he puts like the lid over the tray, like like the cloche kind of thing.
Classy.
To cover it. It's not the chief scientist that comes down. It is just another scientist. And you notice they have like the most piercingly perfect blue eyes. Like these folks. This person has obviously had some kind of sculpt done, whether it's cosmetic or something extra. You're not sure. But they take some time. They look over like they obviously they can't take the items. They look over, like they take swab through all the toothbrush and that kind of stuff, seal it, plop it in a little vacuum kind of sterile box. They run the face cloth, like the washcloth, through some sort of strange mangle. And have this jar full of like soup.
Silsila's face squeezings.
Yeah, soup or something in there. Yeah, it looks.
It'll be an agar substrate
like
jelly kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then they like use like sticky sort of adhesive to get all the hair and everything they can out of the hairbrush. And then they turn to yourself and they're like, is now a convenient time for your sample, or do you wish to?
As you wish, you can take it now, or it can be taken during the procedure.
He looks at you, he's like, well, the sooner we have a copy, the sooner we can begin our holy work.
Of course.
And so he then begins to do, like, very politely, like it's that sort of like cheek swabs and hair pinching and probably like a fingernail or something like that, a bit of blood, all that kind of stuff. Very practiced. Like he obviously he does this all the time for many people.
Well, I should compliment him on the quality of his eyes. Talk about how beautiful they are.
Oh, many thanks. And he goes off to talk about how this particular eye color and stuff like that. He names like a tribe of folks from a specific planet and how they've taken their line of DNA and like he's literally been biosculpted because they've found that these people have the best natural eyesight and that kind of stuff and that sort of thing, and the stuff was added to his, and he explains the process, like he's essentially like had his DNA rewritten so that he could it was very painful, all that kind of stuff, but he is prepared to suffer for the that being that much closer to a holy being. As he speaks, like he has truly drank this Kool-Aid of DNA perfection to become enlightened and so on.
Well, that's good, because that would mean that with my biosculpts as well, he would probably see them as a step in the right direction. So positive reinforcement of his thoughts. Good.
Yeah.
Well, I'll chat to him politely and kind of keep him on the hook and.
Yeah, he takes it all.
Let him take his samples and he can bugger off then, can't he?
Yeah, he asks if you would like the first kind of the first sequence, if you'd like to be included in a copy of that for both yourself and Silsila. it's your data, so to speak. So he can't like, I know the Caledrina is like just on the edge of enough different places to not have any sort of legal shenanigans, but also there's no jurisdiction that would be like, yeah, no, you can keep that DNA sequence from that person, even though no one's like
Okay, we'll definitely have a copy of it. Yeah, that'd be great.
He said,
Especially if he's going to offer it to us, because
yeah,
then
he offers
keeps him going.
the first like they're gonna sequence it, and then they're gonna go into more detail with different layers of whatever science they can do. He offers you like they'll probably have before midnight, like the first pass, like the base sort of sequence kind of thing. He offers to send that to you, and if you want, he could send one of the technicians down on another day, maybe to explain how beautiful your DNA is to you, if you want.
It would certainly be good to have such things explained to me. I'm a simple woman. I don't understand such things, but I can admire the quality of your work.
Yeah, he's like, yes, okay, excellent. Like, there's a certain level of like, shall we explore how Thetan you are in this conversation? Like he's now sort of like, oh, excellent. Okay, you want to understand how that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm not holding the 2 tin cans and being told I have an addictive personality, though.
But yeah, he definitely goes through stuff like that, and he's like, "Oh, I'm certain we'll find such revelations in yourself and Silsila's code. I think it will be so excited to add this to our like sequencing and our information, and like he's positively like vibrating with excitement once he's collected everything and he's talking to you with this kind of stuff, and you've agreed to see the first run, and you've agreed to let somebody come back and talk to you some more, and then you're coming back to be like biosculpt. This is like, this is so exciting to him. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And he thanks you profusely. He leaves like it's probably like a small gift of like like a recovery drink, like after you donate blood and stuff, you're allowed a cup of tea and some biscuits. Except this is very fancy version of that. Like it's beautifully like cooked biscuits and with the right sort of sugar and carb ratio, and a wonderful complimentary drink to go with it to help you recover from donating like 5 mils of blood and a bit of hair and some spit. It's all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, then I was planning on doing a little bit of research on current affairs, but having like a dozen screens, just what's happening on Coriolis now, what's happening in politics now, fashion, just loads and loads of screens with different bits and pieces so that I can try and brainstorm some stuff that I'm brewing.
Okay. Yeah, so let me just get the right part of the PDF. No, I don't want the pictures of the pages. I want this. I want this page. All right, so although it was a couple of months ago, there's still like some information on the fire spreading at the sanatorium. They're talking about the rebuild efforts, about how perhaps without great patronage, nobody's going to rebuild it. Everybody who was part of the sanatorium is either dead, in prison, or left. Governor Dargosian, who is like the head of Coriolis, has got other things to do with the burr that is taxes and whatever for Coriolis. So they're not thinking about redoing that. There is a very inflammatory piece by the Red Spider Network on the shots fired outside of Coriolis. The Imahalat, a ship on a peaceful rescue mission, liberates Zalothian citizens from the oppression on Coriolis and Kua, is now being used in the most vile way by the Zenithian information war machine. The truth is that the Legion fired first, and in doing so, destroyed a ship with proud lineage, a historical treasure that was coming in peace. Captain Ariana Darabin is no hero. She is a ruthless, bloodthirsty warmonger. She and the rest of the Ramara's crew should face war crimes and a tribunal. Patrons of the Red Spider Network can access this, and that kind of stuff. Like, it's clearly like that.
Yeah, I'm going to run that one back again. Well, what?
Um,
Because we kind of work for them, and that's not information that we forwarded to them. That's almost the opposite of what we know went down. Why is the Red Spider Network spamming pro-pariah bullshit? That's not good.
but yeah, that's the Red Spider Network on the shots fired thing. Let's see what else. There is a bulletin from the bulletin. The Order of Pariah continues its dangerous escalation. We have received words that a large Zalosian fleet has established a blockade in Iwaz. Our allies on Sadal and Mira are worried that the council and the council is deliberating as we speak. Sanction against Zalosian colonies and interests are apparently on the table, as well as further military response. Zalos is now completely cut off, and the colonial agency is trying to negotiate for the peaceful release of non-Zalosian citizens from the cities of foreigners, with backing from the clergy of the Church of Icons and some of the more prominent Muran clans. There is still a chance that the portals will reopen for trade and pilgrimage through the horizon, and then it trails off into more stuff. But yeah, so it seems like there's a blockade to Zalos, and we're trying to get folks off Zalos because they are not allowed to freely wander on Zalos. There is a city of foreigners, and that's where everybody has to congregate.
Okay, I'm going to fire off an email to Shadi Pretendin. Just to check in, see if she's doing all right. Suggest that we might be ready to wrap up the story that we were working on for her and bring in some information if she'd like to come and meet me here, maybe?
Maybe. Okay.
That could be handy, and we can have a chat in this nice neutral third space where she's not going to get spied on. I'm also going to drop a line through to Soraya, who's a junior courtesan on Coriolis, to get her to just start collecting some timetabling info about my old friend Tamana, what she's up to, who she's been with.
Okay.
Stuff like that. No, nothing invasive. She doesn't have to go spying on her or anything. Just sort of check on her appointment book.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to fire that off to them.
Yeah. So there's a couple of messages back to keep things ticking over there. I might also drop a message to the temple mistress on Coriolis just to check in, say how wonderful a holiday I had on Dabara. That I'm expecting to be heading back to Coriolis soon, and that I'm very grateful for her kind words in my absence.
Okay. I'm just trying to piece where we are in the calendar to see whether something has happened or not yet.
I would like your own marriage announcement.
Okay, yeah. So we send off those. Bits of information, and hopefully they'll get back to us soon. There's a load of like political kind of commentary on the blockade and speculation of what might come out of the council and Coriolis, who backwards and forwards about that. There's a lot of commentary on what they could use as capital to kind of get the citizens out of the city of foreigners. Like, what could folks possibly want? Would it be like goods and that kind of stuff, that sort of thing, or whether it would be
What's the state of play on the council, actually? Because last I saw, a bunch of the councillors were leaving to go off with the pariah ship.
Okay.
So there must be a whole bunch of new faces on the council. And if there's new faces on the council, then there'll be new gossip pages and new pictures of who they're associating with and which councillors have put them forward and who their seconds are. And then there's their favorite courtesans and things like that. And I can start drawing down a picture of, are they ones that were interested in my guild plan, or are they ones that were not?
Okay. Right. So Governor Dagosian is still in charge. Representative Alete is still there for Alarm's Temple. Mandrigar Ho is still the most. So he represents the Draconites. But so far as anybody is aware, he is the only person who will stand up and be like, "I'm a Draconite," in all of in all of the system. So
one man, one vote. He is the man. He has the vote.
Yeah. So there is very much of okay, you're the Draconite, sort of thing. Johann Kassar is still the Zenithian hegemony. The Order of Pariah currently is not being offered another seat, and Sister Almus is dead.
That's what happens when you bring your warship and try and blow up a civilian station.
The consortium still has the largest number of representatives on the council, with Eutrades being the main consortium representative, Mara representing the bulletin, which is part of the consortium but represents the bulletin, Desseron Kai, who represents the colonial agency, which is the consortium, and Morwan Passa, who represents the foundation, which is also the consortium. And then there is Sahainma Talsim, who represents the Legion, but they are not actually present on Coriolis. They're off, like, coordinating, so they've left their adjutant in, like, to represent them. They've gone out to where things are more important. That in itself has caused a lot of like, is this an insult? What's more important than ensuring the safety? And surely they'd be better here. But no, they've gone out to essentially what they considered the front to be. Who's left? Talk about the previous representative for the Church of Icons left to return to study as the Seekers at the Seekers Temple on Mira, leaving Wasima who is relatively new to, like, this political sort of thing. They're being billed as a sort of naive preacher, and in terms of, like, might be pulled left and right to wherever the more forthright sort of people could be. And they have not filled the seat of the emissary, out of like respect. They are hopeful, like a lot of people are hopeful, a new emissary will present themselves at the end of this Cyclade. And that's the sort of rundown. So
I should probably also update my
4,
availability
6,
calendar.
8, and 12. You got 12 folks sitting on the council. No, you've got 12 seats on the council. 2 of them are empty. Emissary, Order of the Prior. 1 of them is being watched over by a lower functionary. Well, and there's loads. Like if you want, you could spend time like drilling into, and I'm sure Shanaz does. Spend time drilling into these folks to
Social
see.
lives, calendars.
Yeah.
The who's who side of things, working out what's not being said, what's being pretended, what's going on behind the face, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Of it all, like the Kassars are pretty much the most aggressive kind of. We are like the hegemony, and we are the ones who should be like setting the standard, and we know what's best, and really like strong arming their opinion on this new person on the Church of the Icons seat is very much like, oh, okay, that sort of thing. And then somebody else will be like very forthright around them, and the next vote they might sway towards them. So there's like very much like a pinballing kind of thing.
Yeah. Everybody's playing politics and trying to work out who needs to be forming the power blocks. Nobody wants to be the one to step up and go, I will form the power block.
Yeah. And there's all kinds of like stuff like that going on. There's profiles of like, oh, new member so-and-so. And there's people who are campaigning that like another seat to the Church of the Icons should be given now the Order of the Prior have been left. And there are folks who are like, we should appoint someone in the place of the messenger and the emissary. However, the emissary never voted, so other people are like, it's no loss. The emissary just turned up and watched. That kind of stuff. There's talk about there is an emissary, the judge, out in. He's taken over Azine, the research centre at Zine. The judges made themselves stationed there. There's talk about sending a pilgrimage out to entreat them to come and join the Coriolis Council.
Sure, that'd go swimmingly.
Go down well. There is also avoid, like there is sound bites from all over the horizon of like what people think should be going on. The one that seems to be echoed the most, and it possibly like sort of picks up on Shanaz's radar, just because it comes from a name she'd recognise from the bar, and it's Sina Dol Altasau from the Dome of the Dawn, which is a beautiful place on Dabara, which catches the sun, reflects it around, looks beautiful, great for preaching in. And they're kind of repeated on a few channels and a few stations. We can no longer suffer the dignitaries' lust for power and wealth. We have hands to work with and the power to refuse. Our voice resounding in the heavens will echo in the chambers of the council. Demand your place. Together we are the horizon, kind of thing. And there's a lot of like debate on that. There's folks from other parts of the horizon who are saying like similar sort of things, like, we demand our place at the council, or we are the horizon is a thing that is repeated in a couple of places. What else? There is a growing there's a piece of talking about the growing community on Coriolis of those who have been noted with the Mystic's disease. And they've called themselves the Children of the Song. and a lot of them say that Coriolis sings to them. Coriolis Station itself sings to it. And they say the spokesperson, when they're sort of talking, is this old lady, real old lady, and she looks like she's been through the wars and back. Doesn't have too many teeth, and in the like the sort of, and it's spun by the bulletin in like a haha, look at these, crazy folk, rather than a serious kind of thing. She's talking about how I've been a child of the song since I came back from the Ghazali. I heard it there, and I hear it now. And she like reaches out to a wall in and puts her hand on the wall in Coriolis. The messenger is still here for us all. If you have suffered with the mystic's disease, no, you can come to us on Coriolis and find your new family. Become a child of the song. Find true love and community. And like the anchor, like the spokesperson, like the bulletin reporter is like, and they're doing extensive outreach and support for those who have lost their homes. Also, it's like, oh, look at these people. They're balmy, but also they've got bear and they're feeding folks, kind of thing. And this growing community of
It smells like a trap.
Yeah, this growing community of mystics on the lower levels. Like, and she's careful to reinforce, like, they're not near us normal people. Like, and they're taking the mystics down to weird places, that kind of stuff. And she's like, you can see the old lady, like, in the shop behind her, like, she's got a hand on the wall, and she's almost like sort of swaying to a tune or something. Whether she's an official spokesperson for the children of the song or whether she's just some crazy old lady they've found, we're not sure. And it wasn't like the best promotional piece, if that's what she was. But it stands out to you because she's still talking about the messenger in this song and stuff. But yeah.
She's interesting then. She might be worth looking up at some point.
She's a bit weird. But yeah, the news is like 24-hour news thing. Red Spider has got like, all the kind of growing conspiracy angles possible. As many as they can spin. Folks who subscribe at like this tier get access to all this raw data that we've got. Folks, that kind of stuff is very, very like support the Red Spider network every opportunity they can, but also then let's go and talk to this person from somewhere who's seen the emissary in their piece of toast, that sort of stuff as well. So it's very like hit and miss with what you get from them.
Yeah.
And then the bulletin is obviously very much
serious paper for serious people, isn't it?
Serious paper for serious people, but everything is very much what the consortium. It's
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the consortium line, kind of thing. But yeah. We spend an evening digesting all this stuff. We fire off some contacts. They'll bounce their way across ships heading that way, and eventually we'll get some contacts back.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Just need to sort of reintegrate with the old network a little bit, make sure that things are still ticking along. And also that I might be noticed as missing if I suddenly go missing.
Aha! Yeah, excellent. So we leave Shanaz to make those contacts, read, digest, think a bit more. Have Silsila and Yusuf, aside from taking selfies, decide whether they're gonna what they're gonna say to the Mine Lord.
I'm gonna try and give Silsila a look that says we should agree, but just to get out of here.
I mean, that I completely agree as well.
Yeah.
I will just say, completely understood, Mr. Mindlord.
Um,
And nothing's gonna, like you say, we're gonna let something happen, right? So nothing's gonna come back on us, because obviously it's bad if we take a contract with one person and then another. So it'll be clear that it's not.
We will make it known that whatever has happened was inevitable, and what does he say?
So will it be these guys? I'll say, pointing at the people in the room.
He sort of ignored. We will make sure that whatever happens was inevitable, and by the lady is most merciful. You see somebody make a symbol of the lady with their left hand.
Maybe not by people wearing that red hand jacket.
And that we shall make it known that you, in your duties, were diligent, and no besmirching of your honor shall be laid forward. Which is, like, he's very long way says, is like, we'll make sure nobody
Sure.
on the road
Sure.
for it.
I'm trying to get more information, like specifics out of him. So okay, so we're gonna go out there and pretend to do our job.
We're not the
and
only
then
protectors, though, are we?
No,
I'm sure the Widow Salty has another guy as well.
Tall
fella.
We were aware her butler has been
guy.
taking the scientist food, but we don't think.
He's not a butler, right?
And he sort of like leans back and throws his cape over his shoulder. We will hear your assessment of the situation. And he picks up the tabula as if he's not looking at, as if what you're about to say is inconsequential.
I thought he was a cook as well as a butler.
He's a cook. Isn't he trained in explosives and
very interesting cook.
Special forces or something? I can't remember.
I mean, I was just going to make shit up, but you're telling the truth, so.
Yeah,
I'll say the same thing, that basically, like, when, he doesn't move like a butler, he definitely moves like ex-military.
We hear your threat assessment and we will add it to our data, but we do not believe he is of consequence.
Okay, but in the heat of these things, right, bad things can happen. And I'm going to point at the guys in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Is it your elite guys here that we should not notice? How, if something's going to happen, we need to have understanding of what's going to happen before it happens. Otherwise, we won't know if it's something we genuinely need to ignore or respond to.
Like we see Jabal, we're having a comm problem, we better stay here and fix it.
Yeah.
All right.
I have to tie my shoelaces suddenly because I see, and I'll point really close to someone's face in the room. This guy.
In Dirac's eye.
Yeah.
He needs that for his sniper.
All right. So.
Oh, sorry.
The Mind Lord says, so that there might not be further disturbance to the restful miners of the area, we have arranged a number of charges that will cause a catastrophic landslide.
So you don't want them to disturb the area, but you're going to blow it up.
Strategic places which will recover the burial ground and also the blasphemous scientist at the same time.
Okay.
Gotcha. Great plan.
Okay. Sorry, boss. But as a miner myself, as a miner myself, I'm interested in what.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah, but we don't know where they are. What part of the slope to avoid? What the antecedent soil moisture needs to be in order not to trigger a catastrophic cascade. There's a lot of factors involved here.
That's right. We might need to dry the soil out.
and the Mind Lord goes, "Gentle Yusuf, your diligence has been noted. Rest assured, the White Knight has thought of everything."
now. Let's go back.
Verily.
We'll get the ship and we'll straight to the fucking house. Wow, we get Shinaz to call him and insult him.
I would like to,
Mm.
my lord, if possible, I'd like to commemorate this moment with an image, if possible. It's been an honor to meet you.
Make a manipulation roll.
Yeah, okay.
You can have an extra 2 dice for playing into his vanity.
Yeah.
Let's see how well he takes it. Like how close and how silly you can get.
2 successes. Hang on. I've got 2 more dice to roll. 3 successes.
Success. All right.
Yeah.
So
I'll take the picture.
No, so
Yeah.
he orders Jabal to
All 3 of us.
Yeah, all 3 of you. He does have to stand slightly higher on the steps than you. Like you're not allowed to stand on the top layer.
Sure.
So
Sure.
he is and he holds his cloak out. Like
I would deliberately bend my knees so it's obvious that I'm making myself shorter.
yeah, he holds
Yeah.
his cloak out like wide. And he
Like he's Batman or something.
yeah, like he is you are basking in his protection or something.
He's taken us under his wing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that kind of stuff. He does that, and then he'll do maybe like one more pose where you're all sort of like
Doing something manly.
chest puffing kind of thing.
Sure.
And so he lets you take like a couple of shots. All of them, like he won't stand lower than you on the stairs. You can't
That's
stand
fine.
on the platform with him.
Is this guy like?
How tall is he actually? When we're standing next to him, is he like quite tall or is he
4'8".
It's 2 foot.
Just curious.
The Chronicles
Just
of
curious.
Riddick guy. It sounds like this dude in an actual film.
He's
Vin
probably
Diesel, that's it.
he's like average height, but obviously
Okay.
he's got the ceramic suit on, so it makes him bigger and bulkier.
Sure.
Okay.
But he's
Just a
not
high
he's not
heel,
like
so-
short.
I wondered if he was doing it because he's like 5'2" or
No,
something.
no, he's
and
not he's not like short, but also he's not like
he's just a
towering.
prick.
Yeah, he's just
yeah. That's fine.
he's just a crazy mine lord.
I mean,
just-
is there a different kind of Mind Lord? Is my current question. Also, do I know whether that Mercurium sword will be bothered about his armor? I'm not going to stab him.
It's
right now.
armor.
Yeah,
It's armor, so yeah.
It would struggle with it. We'd have to make stuff.
Like explosives.
Yeah. Yeah, like explosives. And yeah, Jubal takes some pictures for you, shows you them. It shows the Lord them first, shows them the Mine Lord. And there's maybe like one where the Mine Lord deletes 1 or 2, like because
Can I make
perhaps
a
he wasn't.
manipulation roll to make Jabal like sort of lie on the floor underneath things like that?
Yeah, like you don't need to make it like they'll.
I haven't rolled 2 dice. So
Like- Yusuf got like critical success, so there are like some ridiculous like as long as they are
I want one snuck through where I've done the.
no, because the Mine Lord
He's
gets
checking
like
them.
I know, but I'm gonna like. Even if he deletes it, but just to show that you know.
yeah. The Mine Lord gets like to delete and
Sure.
stuff. So Jabal probably takes about 15 photos, and you get about
Yeah.
7 back.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of them are like over the camera from a low angle. and
I'm
that
going to
kind of
send
stuff.
the cheesiest one immediately to Shanaz. No text, nothing, just that picture.
I send the same picture, but with "They've got married" written underneath it.
All right, they send these. You get both pictures. There is some dude in full ceramic white armor. In like you can see in the background, like it is. To Shanaz, it's basically Primani. Like it looks great. But
It's not like culturally important or significant or anything.
no. It's just it looks great, but you know it's like it's going to be real paper thin hangings and that kind of stuff. The ceramic armor in the picture looks pretty legit. And then it's got like Silsilla and Yusuf throwing signs.
I'd like to think that we got him to some sort of pose and we fist bumped in front of him.
Yeah. That kind of thing. And it just looks like ridiculously cheesy and uncomfortably formal at the same time.
Homoerotic.
Yeah.
Could I have thrown in a couple of Algol
Gang sign.
signs that mean like what a wanker, and like look at this prick,
Eat the rich.
but like
eat the rich and stuff. It's just like the worst sort of promotional shot ever for whoever this guy is.
It's just fantastic.
You get Shanaz to put it on her version of social media and absolutely flame into the world.
But yeah, no context on what it is, other than Yusuf's got married. And you just
Silsilla, I don't think Silsilla understands what marriage is, if I'm honest.
and then there's like
We all got married.
it'll be legal on Gina, who knows?
I mean, he looks rich at least.
Yeah.
The Mine Lord offers you room. We will extend our hospitality to rest.
I think that would make our dealings too obvious, wouldn't it? I think it would be best if we retire to our ship, and then no one will consider anything that's happened. And perhaps if your friend here, and I'll poke the guy in the face again, your friend here were to eject us from the building, that would look better.
I was just thinking the same thing.
He nods. He nods, and he does this like kind of thing, and he's like, Ibra, Thorak, eject these ruffians from our magnificent hospitality.
Take it easy.
And then he holds the tabula up, because he's not going to do this in holds the tabula up to the side of his mask where you can imagine it thinks, goes, not too much. And in that kind of like nudge nudge sort of thing.
Whatever thing they brought the drink in, I'm gonna just grab the bottle of drink or whatever on the way out. Just steal something.
Yeah, it's like for Gina, it'd probably be like nice, fancy alcohol. But even for yourself, like you've probably picked up better while you were on the run.
Yeah, in the gas station shop.
Yeah.
I'm waggling my eyebrows at Silsilla in my head, thinking we could shoot them to make it look good. We could shoot them to make it look good.
In the vain hope that
Not the way you just assume that he's always reading your mind.
Yeah. And I always just go,
just hopeful thinking.
I just nod like, yeah. Oh, hang on. Did we lose a darkness point there? Was that earlier on?
No, that
Sorry.
was
we lost them earlier on because I when talking to Shanaz, have triggered some behind the scenes things.
Okay, right. Sorry. Yeah, I thought that wasn't.
Yeah, I noticed it
recent.
from 16 to 15 seconds in the chat, and I was like, ooh.
You've triggered different things happening in the horizon.
Oh dear.
See the things I do for you, clearing up your dark side points,
Starting world-ending events.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're in the third horizon. There are many other worlds to check out.
End.
Yeah.
Many worlds to end.
Yeah. Okay. So Ibra and Dorak walk nicely to the front door, and then they're like, "All right, do you want us to shout at you? What do you want?"
Just a bit of a shoving, and we'll say, "Well, don't worry, just push us out," and we'll be like, whoa, and then we'll just go off.
All right, and they do that like roll the shoulders kind of like, all right, okay.
Oh god, here we go.
They go, sort of thing. One of them puts his drink down on the side table.
Wygo's eyes thinks, I could stab him with my
Yeah.
sword.
And they like they push open the doors, push you out and be like, don't refuse the Mine Lord's hospitality like that again. Don't be so ungrateful. You know.
Well, he had a stupid cape. I'll say it as we go.
And
a wink.
He genuinely looks at you and like
a wink. A wink.
Get out of here, you mongrel. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you stupid pilot. You push Silsilla out as well.
I'll get you, my pretty.
Yeah, and you stupid pilot too.
Let's take a selfie, like from the mud, looking at the stars.
Yeah.
I know
Love
we're
it.
not going to be in it. We're not really a selfie.
Yeah. Where's that car?
It's like over there. Like,
Do we? I suppose. Do I not? Pilot is for all vehicles, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, you pilot.
Yeah.
Cool.
You drive, I'm hammered.
Well, I don't know.
That
What
was.
time.
Can I just say, Cecilia, that was really weird.
I mean, that guy is.
I assume we like run.
Yeah, you make your way through some of the bridges.
Like,
Ninja Jack left the car. Like,
I mean, he had a really nice place, like for this place, but like, what was with the cloak?
We could challenge him to a duel. I reckon he can't fight. For sure.
Go for it. Go for it. I'll watch. I'll get the others. We can film it.
I mean, we use intelligence as a weapon. I mean, he could presumably going to murder himself at that point. But anyway, let's find that hill to jump off. Over.
Sure. There's one over there.
A battle of wits to the death.
Oh,
Indeed,
take 10 minutes.
Just, we sort of like, when you sort of go too fast and the back end slides left and right. Vaguely towards the hill.
Sorry,
before we do anything else, Yusef, like, obviously, we're going to tell, like, Shanaz.
Yeah.
Are we telling the Salty Widow?
I'm really confused.
Like, in all honesty, if that guy is actually right, I still don't care.
Like all their superstitious crap, whatever. I don't care about like lost miners, ancient blah blah blah.
How long have they been here? There could be ancient burial grounds in a place we only showed up to 5 years ago.
Were we the first people to show up?
Oh well, maybe we should get the science guy to find out.
Yeah, but I assume we get there's going to be some explosions, so we've got to be careful.
I mean, true, but they've got to be like near a cliff or on the side of a cliff or something.
He said they're in like a slope that will rebury the burial ground.
Oh, okay. So,
but like, do we have any kind of jamming stuff? I assume they've got to trigger them.
yeah.
I don't know. We're in a bit of a.
I mean, we do have a ship, so we probably could jam things. Assuming Kirsch can make it fly and Ninja Jack actually has bits. So maybe we don't have a ship.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you what, I do have a, like, it's either planetary or interplanetary communication device. I could just like turn it to static and leave it around the burial site.
What? Look, I think I may have had too many drinks to have this conversation right now. But I think what we should do is before we go to bed, so it's fresh in our minds, we should talk to Shanaz.
No, Kirsch can tell us how to jam it.
True. But I think I
And
think
is a totally responsible adult.
I think we need like some Shanaz.
Cool. All right then, let's ring her now then.
Yeah, I mean we're on the way back, aren't we?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
are you going to ring her as you're driving back, or are you going to get back to your ship and ring her?
It's loud and we're
Is there
trundling
a
through the
bit
gas.
where you're outside the town but not yet at the ship? Because I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I
doing
mean,
that, but
I think it took almost like half an hour or so.
Yeah,
an hour
yeah.
or so to
driving
drive
at
back.
5 miles an hour down Main Street is
Yeah.
probably not going to do it.
Yeah, no, there's definitely like the spaceport is not kept next to the ravine, Aaron's ravine, because if something blows up on the spaceport and it's right next door, you have no
Yeah.
settlement left. So it's a journey.
I think like for the first 10 minutes we're just like slagging off the White Knight,
Okay.
without any context whatsoever. Just that we met some dickhead and here's all the reasons we don't like him. Just
Okay.
kind of talk over each other a bit.
So you have a bit of a complaint session, and then you're like, oh, we should call Shanaz.
No, while we call her and then about the White Knight.
Oh, okay. So you call Shanaz.
Because we'd be delighted to share the absolute.
Like some point, like during your research, Shanaz, like you've done a lot of stuff. You've just finished off sending an email back to the Baron. You've read a bit about like several courtesans are dealing with a couple of the councilmen and that kind of stuff, the Council of Coriolis sort of thing. You get like who calls? Is it like Yusuf? Because
We'll just do it.
It's on speakerphone
all right.
on the dash, and we're rumbling across the.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
just
Whoa!
like Yusuf, incoming call, Yusuf and Silsila
Yeah.
kind of thing. There's
There's
like
some
a
music playing as soon as
really
you.
like, you know, jiggly sort of screen as these guys are in some sort of ground car playing some sort of local awful radio station.
Like the K-Rock.
No, there's no K-Rock. There is
White Night FM.
Yeah, you know, that kind of stuff.
I need a hero on repeat. For
Knights in white satin.
Nice
Yeah.
and white satin. Yeah, some sort of local station which is massively out of date. And by the way they're shouting, they are obviously quite deep into some sort of local drink.
Shanaz!
Time to be
Hey!
You're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry, boys. Are you having a nice time?
No.
Oh no, what's wrong? It looked like you were having
Politics,
so much
man.
fun.
There's like heavy politics going on down here in this
Heavy politics.
this green place.
You met a
Wow.
dickhead.
I saw. I thought you'd gone to one of those wrestling shows that you liked.
No, this dude's called the Mine Lord,
Mr.
and he
my
runs
lord.
like half the mine down here.
So not a wrestler.
Well,
I mean, that would be
No.
kind of cool, but no.
He's an actual person in actual authority.
and sits around in that armor all day, saying he's the
Don't
Mine
forget
Lord.
the cloak and the divan.
The cloak and the divan.
He had a cloak too. Wow. And you've been doing politics.
Have we?
Like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, I would not. No, you are right.
Yes, we.
There's like
we-
two factions, right?
Two?
Yeah, and it's like super complicated.
We
because-
politically agreed to do the right thing the wrong way in a wrong way with explosives.
Exactly on a slope. It's crazy. And
Something
it's
about
like the
moisture.
salty. What's the name? Salty
Face.
face.
I think so. That's what
That's,
he.
yeah, salt widow. The salted widow. I don't know.
Who is also not a wrestler?
No.
Oh,
no.
she looks pretty old. Maybe she used to be.
I think she could have been.
Oh, yeah.
She was
okay.
pretty tough, wasn't she?
Is
And
that
her-
how leadership is determined down there then?
Salt, apparently, yes.
Salt. She runs half the mine. He runs half the mine. Her husband died in a freak accident, but did he? Did he?
No, she obviously murdered him.
Oh.
Come on.
Well, no, she
She
says
took
he
over.
did it, and he implies he does, but didn't want to say.
And he's like religious crazy guy.
Is he?
Yeah, they don't want the scientists round all the
that's
stuff.
That's not religious. That's just.
Oh, superstition.
Stupid.
Yeah.
There's a
yeah.
scientist as well.
They did
Oh,
make
yeah, yeah.
the,
He's
the
not
sign of
stupid.
the lady. Like he did make like with the, the lady of
I mean, we're all
tears.
religious, aren't we?
You did science and politics at the same time.
And religion.
And religion.
You'd be proud.
I'm
You'd be proud.
stunned, is what
I may
am.
have had a few drinks as well, Shanaz. I'm not sure if you could tell. I think I kept it
You've
pretty.
kept it very low key. I'm amazed that anybody would be able to tell. I think you'd have to know you really well.
Exactly.
Also, we did not shoot anybody, even though they were very deserving of it.
I mean, that guy. Who's that guy I kept poking in the face? Who's that guy?
Golden
I can't remember-
Jabbar.
I can't remember the name. Gom Jabbar. Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah. Yeah.
Jabbar.
Yeah.
Oh, he was the Cabal. Maybe he was a wrestler. Like the Cabal sounds like a wrestler name.
It does. You're right. Yeah.
But now we're making them sound cool, but they're definitely not cool.
No, they were a bunch of idiots.
We missed the start. We forgot about the old lady.
But
Oh,
you
yeah.
found the bomber.
We
We've recruited
did.
someone.
We did. Yeah. Both us.
They did it to like get our attention.
Say hello.
Well, it worked.
Yeah.
Strangely, like out of all the people we met, he's probably the least dickhead, and he tried to blow us up. That's how political it's been.
Often
Yeah.
the way, I find.
And in
yes.
his head, he said, I knew it wouldn't take you down.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have an honest bomber, and
And he's like special forces guy, yeah? That's the guy, the bow
honest
bow
special
thingy.
forces. He is still a murderer though, because he did kill one of the chefs from the hotel.
Oh, do we know that? I don't think we know that.
We don't.
I know
what?
that.
Oh.
Meh.
My half of the investigation up here is pretty much resolved. Yes, he came up. He did some money exchange with one of the chefs, took his ID, and most likely went back and killed him later. They haven't been able to find said chef since. So he's either shipped off on another vessel leaving, or more likely they'll find him in a root locker in 4 to 6 months.
Oh, well, I hope he's not on the ship then.
Oh, that would be a bit smelly, wouldn't
It'd
it?
be worse than your pocket bananas.
You know, you can only fold a piece of paper 7 times.
I did know that. Yes.
Yeah. You know, Sabitha, the thing.
The old lady, yes.
The thing.
But
She
not
wants
the
the
salt
scientist to like look at the thing.
Right.
The
so
stuff underground.
Scientist that you're not going to kill, that you've been asked to kill.
We no, not kill.
Saltface wants us to say, like, be nice
Look
to the
after him.
scientist. Yes.
Are
And
we
the
about to
Mine
collect a
Lord-
scientist?
Well, maybe.
Uh,
Can have a science off with
we don't have a science person.
We don't have a scientist.
We
no,
have a science off with himself. I mean, he might win though.
maybe.
Are you two collecting guests?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Nina Jack.
Yeah.
Who? What?
Yeah.
I think she wants to go to
Scrappy,
university.
resourceful engineer.
Oh, yes, because we have got a shortage of those. Yes.
We live
See?
on a spaceship.
You agree?
Fair
Yes.
point. Well made. I don't suppose you could find us a soldier with good table manners next.
What?
I mean,
Oh,
take-
Oh, to hang out with you. All right,
we
okay.
came here because of you, though. Like you gave us the
Yeah.
place. Like, take us somewhere where those people are, and we'll make friends.
Okay, yeah, no, that's all
I
good.
can learn table manners, Shanaz. I look. You know, I think it's not fair.
Was there something you
He was
actually
just trying to
wanted
lose it a little bit
from me
Yes.
when you called? How
We
can
just-
I help?
We
you
haven't
boys?
heard from you in like a day. I missed you.
Oh, well, that's very sweet.
Anyway.
I haven't got married.
Oh.
Huh?
I know,
he
right?
has.
That's 2 whole
What?
days now.
You can hear from outside of the shop somebody shouting to these two, going, "Hey, slow down! Or you're gonna hit the ship! No!" Like shouting as they're going, "We haven't got married! Don't hit ship!"
Shout rudder hard left and then slam it right.
Basically, it's like Kirsch being like, "Ah,
Yeah.
you don't take the house."
Headlights,
We-
like
we-
suddenly
we
Kirsch
did-
is
we
there
did
and there.
ring for a reason. I don't know what it was though.
Yeah.
But anyway,
We need some help.
yeah,
do
we've been hired to do the opposite things on the same
Yeah.
person.
Right. Okay. So you've been hired to do the different things to the same person by different people.
Yeah, death and no death.
Right.
But we need to help the scientists, right?
Okay.
Like
we
there's
like
weird
to
shit
know
going on
that-
this planet. There are
Yeah.
humanoids here who like can
Right.
breathe the green gas. And there's
Convenient.
ruins from before the times. Before the
Mm.
times.
That is quite important, to be fair.
How can you
And
tell?
like the things
If it's before times, how can tell? Because there's no time to tell if it
I
was
don't know.
before.
Don't ask me. That's what they were saying.
It's a
Oh,
good question.
okay.
But like,
I'll
like
explain it to
the
you
first
next
people who
time we're on
got
the ship
here,
together.
the first people who got here was how Silsilla, you know more about this than me. Well, you were saying like 5 years or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, like,
But like the people got here and there were ruins here.
Yeah. Like other dudes been here first.
Yeah, people who build stuff like was here when people got here. The first people who got here found some stuff.
Okay, so it could be first come ruins. It could be Zenithian ruins. It could be
Could be
pre-Arden diasporic
know.
remnants. It does sound fascinating.
and the Mine Lord wants to just bury it all.
Yes.
So I think we got
But
to
he's
find
a
these
dick, so we
mines.
don't want to do that.
Got Got to
Sounds
find
like
his
something
bombs.
Jafar would have been very interested in.
Well, he'll have to apply next time he comes.
Yeah.
Don't be like that. You know he had to go and deal with family things.
Yeah.
Right, so you want my advice on how to simultaneously kill and not kill?
Yes! That's
man.
why we called, yes.
And
Do you
like
have
catch up, isn't it like official catch up time? Aren't we supposed to call you every 17 hours or something?
We haven't met him yet, though. It might be a her. Or I don't know.
No, they have referred to the scientist as him. In fact,
Well, it sounds like that the easiest thing to do would be to remove the scientist from the problem and bring him back aboard. That should be easy enough.
But what if
he's
he wants to
working
bring a
for
cemetery
Sabitha.
with him?
He
Like, we
He
can't
can't
fit
bring the
that.
whole cemetery, but you could download his data and bring his data.
Maybe we could talk to him, radio him before we get there.
Don't go on the slope. Just like pretend we're we could pretend we're a ghost.
Is that all we say?
We could pretend we're a ghost, and it will be
Do
great.
you have contact details for this man? Maybe I can reach out to him.
I think the gas is pretty
Explosive
bad.
guy does.
Yeah.
doesn't he?
yeah,
We're
you
going with
don't have
explosive
contact
guy.
details.
Yeah.
Bofas was going to take you
Well,
out
they're a
to
bit
him.
funny about it, to be honest. They're going to take us
Understandable.
there and stuff.
All right. I will call you back in the morning and have something ready for you to deliver to him so that you can persuade him to come aboard the ship and get him out of the way. I'll deal with that. I'll persuade him to get on the ship. If he doesn't go with what I've suggested, then you'll have to resort to using your methods for getting him on the ship, whether that means putting him in a bag and carrying him, or filling him with enough alcohol to sink a Dabaran sand camel.
Bro,
So
no,
be
it
it.
doesn't go.
Wow.
Like, it's got a hole in it.
I'm
I thought you
working
were
on.
fixing it.
I'm working on this. I
don't
need the
think
part
we can
from
get parts.
the person who you went to get drunk with.
This is her car.
Hey, we got parts. Hey, can you get the parts out of this?
No, this is ground vehicle. We have space vehicle. And Kirsch says it in
Yeah.
very like simple
Yes,
terms.
Ursula. Yes, Ursula.
This goes brum. This goes whoosh.
Okay, I just pulled my final 2 bottles out, open them on the dashboard, and hand one to Yusuf.
Also, I have a lizard now. Look, and she points to the tail.
Please let it be like a Komodo dragon size thing.
Big fucking lizard, just like sat there. Is my pet. Okay, yes, thanks, good. And then
Is that not
Kirsch-
dinner?
No, it's not dinner.
fairy.
My pet, I will look after and keep clean. Okay, thank you, bye. And Kirsch is like, all right, you've not crashed into the building. Everybody is alone.
asleep. Is like, right.
She probably had a. We've been out for a while. She probably had a nap.
Yeah. And she takes
At the
a
sink.
big lizard, which she might have drove past a couple of them on the way, like native lizard, into the back of your ship. And it's like, you can hear her like, come on, I have meat for you. Come. This thing's like, onto the ship. She has a Lechma lizard.
Not like got some kind of bacterial salivary gland that's going to kill us all in our sleep or something, is it?
Kirsch doesn't know.
That's the
She's just got a
exciting
pet now.
part.
We left her alone on a planet with pets.
Oh
No
God.
capybara, but you know.
We didn't
Yeah.
know there were pets. And probably wouldn't like a 9-foot pet.
It's quite cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
It's
so-
certainly, it's kind of guard dog-esque. Let's just think of it like that.
Yeah. So Kirsch takes.
I will make you a video.
Oh, we're still on. Shit. Hi,
to-
Stars.
Yes, you are still on. I was wondering if you were going to get. Never mind. Look, I'll make you a video for tomorrow, and you can show it to the scientist and tell
Okay.
him to get on the ship as a result, to bring his files with him, and then you can let the bad people crash him.
We came for a thing though as well, didn't we? We with the radio thing. What do we find out?
Yeah, but this is what you're going to find from that thing, isn't it? If he's
Oh, is that
Sabitha's
what's happening?
scientist, this would be what Sabitha was doing here. So if anybody's going to know about Sabitha, it's going to be him. And then
Pay
he
people
can
lots
tell
of money
us
as well.
about her.
Okay,
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Write that
Your
down.
job then is to remove the scientist from the danger position,
Well, yeah.
but
yeah.
not let the bad people know. That
I don't know where the
you've
bombs
removed
are.
scientist.
I mean, if we're not anywhere near it, that doesn't matter.
This is
But
very
what if
true.
we get there? And yeah. Anyway, we'll see.
Drive quickly.
And we got lots. We can do that. Got batteries or fuel?
Yeah, she's gone inside with a lizard.
Oh.
I think it's a power pack. You charge it up from the
Probably.
thing.
Like that's the kind of thing where so and so is joining the call comes on the side, like that kind of stuff. And there is a picture of like Kirsch in
And a giant lizard.
a giant lizard next to her. Now and again, the lizard licks the camera. What? I'm feeding it. I'm looking after it. I've scrubbed.
No, that's not the
What?
problem. I was going to ask if you could switch the call off because they seem to have forgotten how to.
I've just
Okay.
mashed. I'll mash the thing.
Kirsch hangs up thing, and then like there's this for a couple of minutes, and then you see Kirsch's claw kind of come in and just go, "Good night, bye bye." Leaves you in peace, which is a good way to end.
Like,
this
comment, and
session.
subscribe.
I think I've watched Red Spider. Please support Red Spider Network. Thank you. Bye. She just switches off the camera, which is a good point to end the session, I think. Because she's got a lizard. You've got to look after a scientist, and I don't think Shanaz is any the wiser of what's going on. Like I don't know.
So,
Weird mine lords, old salty ladies, and the horizon.
And I've got to make a dress-up recruitment video for some kind of archaeology program.
awesome.
That's the takeaway I'm taking.
It can't
from
be
that.
too sexy. It's got to be a little bit sexy, but not too sexy.
I can do sexy librarian.
Okay,
you don't
good,
want to
good.
attract the mind.
Basil, I need you to hold a camera and also prepare 4 costume changes. How is your After Effects?
What is your transition?
Yeah, that kind of stuff. It's like,
That was very cool.
yeah. All right. Yeah, thank you for playing.
Did I say at the beginning of the session that my character's getting a bit more serious?
Yeah, definitely. And then
The Mind Lord was good fun.
the Mind Lord is a brilliantly weird character.
And I'm the Mind Lord.
But yeah, it is. This is a thing that's published. This is
Yep.
not me. Like, this is a thing that's published.
You too can ruin somebody's adventure.
No, this is fun.
It
This is a good
very-
weird thing, but I think it highlights how strange folks get when you're on a secluded little settlement.
Gas-filled
Which is
moon.
pretty accurate. People
Yeah.
get weird in isolation.
Yeah. There's only
yeah,
a couple
this is
hundred
like
people.
Hillbilly Central.
Yeah, this is totally hillbilly
Some
central.
guy in a simple house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but thank you very much for playing Coriolis with me tonight. I've laughed a lot. Folks, if you joined us on Sunday for our Coriolis chat, that was great fun. It's also now available on the Effect podcast. Oh, you didn't watch it on here. Come over to the Discord. I've put a link to the podcast in the Coriolis channel. And
Watch it on Garblag. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Check out the Effect podcast
check
as
out
well.
the Effect podcast because they're good folks. Or it's in the Twitch.
Some poor soul showed up 10 minutes ago and he's like, what's going on? I can't even explain it. I was
Yeah,
there.
old Uncle Mojo. Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. You entered during a phone call of shenanigans. It was
Yep.
as to be expected. But yeah, that's available as a podcast, or you can watch it on the Twitch thing here. What day are we on tomorrow? Soulbound
Yes.
tomorrow.
Yes. There's hardcore battles going on.
Goblins
And
or
a lot-
something.
Yeah, there was some goblins in, I think that was episode 2. Episode
okay.
3 got a bit more hardcore. And I think Dan is going to throw some even harder opponents at them. There's some trading in of gold for armor going on in the Discord so that some of the characters are a bit more tooled up.
Ooh,
But
okay.
yeah,
Interesting. All right.
battle
Preparation.
commence.
Good. That's Wednesdays. Thursdays. What are we doing this Thursday?
Thursday, I think I'm starting a Mothership series
Oh,
because the latest drop from the Kickstarter happened.
nice.
And I was looking at doing something else, doing some Hyperborea. However,
Gonna do some
when the sci-fi horror dropped, I was like, "Ooh, I'm going to pull out my Journeyman series and start that off."
Nice. And it's back from Thanksgiving break. We're back to Achtung Cthulhu.
Yes,
in
for
North
episode
America.
4.
Number 4, Forest of Fear, where things are, I don't know, but I know.
Horrible and violent.
Yeah, and
Foresty.
also know that lots of folks are enjoying it because I've seen the
Yeah.
download numbers of the podcast and I've seen the comments on the YouTube page, and it's like, oh, okay, maybe I'll
Going really
take
well.
a minute to sit back. Join live if you can, because they've got all kinds of bonkers prizes to give away still
Yes, fabulous prizes to be won.
from Modifius, folks. That's how are we doing for space pirating?
Sky pirating.
Sky pirating.
Sky pirating.
pirating.
Has the GM been allowed back to their
The
house?
GM has been allowed back into his house, so with any luck, we will be able to play on Friday.
Excellent. Excellent.
So good.
I mean, did that, like, for clarification.
Can't get to my house,
I was
so
a
I
bit
can't run
worried.
the show.
But it was just because of a bike thing, like a race going through the town or something. I was a bit like, what? No, good. I did have a moment of worry, but no. GM can get back to the home and we can go into space. Sky and Yarg. Cracking. And that's a week of Garblag. If you missed any of it or all of it or none of it and want to watch it again, it'll all be on YouTube at the weekend. And if you want to chat shenanigans, or trade for better armor, come and join us on Discord, where it's lovely.
Wait, we can get better armor on Discord?
You probably need better armor for the gift war. Well, I do.
Indeed.
I do. But oh, look, there we go. Both me and Peter have put the link in. But people, you possibly need better armor if you're going to take part in the gift war. But there are some folks in the chat and yourself, Ben, who don't, because you're very good at it.
I have had to mute the food channel though out of jealousy.
Oh, it's a lovely channel. Beautiful channel. But yeah, come and join us on Discord and we can share more things with you and you can enjoy that. And that's all, folks. That's all for tonight. Have a good one. See you soon. Bye.